The next piece of information that we need to extract is areas that are south facing or have the most solar gain. So the tool that we're going to use to do that is the aspect tool. Aspect will identify the slope direction of the maximum rate of change in value from each cell to its neighbors. In other words, the aspect tool will locate areas that are north, northeast, northwest, south, southeast, southwest, east and west, and flat on the DEM surface. So in our ARC toolbox, we're going to navigate down to our spatial analyst tools. These are our raster-based tools. And we're going to navigate down to surface, and we're going to locate the aspect tool. And I'm going to drag and drop this aspect tool right underneath my slope tool over here in the model builder. So I'm just going to click on this and drag it over here. And then I'm going to connect my DEM surface that's clipped down to this area of interest to my aspect tool. So I'm going to use the connect tool, and I want to connect it as an input raster. Once I'm done doing that, I'm going to right click on aspect and go to open. Once the aspect tool window opens, we want to check and make sure that the output raster is going to go into our geodatabase and that it is named correctly. We want to respect the 8-character naming restrictions, and right now I have mine named aspect. And I have a little exclamation point here, and what this means is that I already have a file named aspect in my geodatabase. And that's because I'm showing you this window after I've already ran the tool. So yours shouldn't have this. So once you type in the word aspect in here, go ahead and click OK. I'm going to go up here and click on my select tool. So my tool will select from connecting to selecting. And then I'm going to right click on aspect and choose run. Once it's done, I'll click close. If it doesn't automatically add to my table of contents into my data frame, I'm going to right click on aspect and just choose add to display. And then I'm going to drag and drop it, probably right underneath my hill shade up here, and we can begin to see our aspect. We can see areas that are south facing, north facing, east facing, west facing. I'm going to go ahead and minimize my model builder window. One thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that our aspect tool processes things the way that we expected it to. So one way to do this is we can go up here and turn on a toolbar called Effects. And it looks like I do have it turned on up here. So it's this tool here called Effects. And all I did was I right clicked in this gray space where there's no toolbars and chose Effects. And then over here, this is the toolbar that will open. And in this drop down, I need to choose the layer that is on top, and that happens to be my aspect. And my DEM is turned on underneath. And then I can click on this swipe tool. And what this swipe tool will allow me to do is kind of like roll the sheet that's on top off so that I can have a look of what's underneath. And we can see right along here, there's a ridge line, and things that are kind of northwest of the ridge line are a kind of a magenta color, and things that are south east of the ridge line are a green color. So this appears to have processed correctly. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my hill shade and kind of play with my transparency a little bit so that I can maybe visually see and compare its results. Decrease it to about 40%. It's a little bit hard to tell. Maybe I'll try 30. This one is a little bit closer. You can see a little bit of the shadowing going on over here. But that's another way. It's not as effective as the effects tool swipe method. I just wanted to show you that. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save to my ArcMap document, so in case I crash I don't lose all this work I did. It should be stored in the geodatabase, but I don't want to do all this front-end work. And then on my suitability analysis model, I'm going to go ahead and click Save to that as well.